Greetings everyone, welcome back. It's Fleo, and today we have a pretty exciting video for SoRare. We're building our lineups for game week 251, but I have spent a ton of money on a goalkeeper that might have been already a mistake, but in general, I think it's gonna be a good idea. So let's get rolling into it. So we'll start with my lineups, and then once we see the card, we'll dive into it. So play game week 251, my teams. We'll start with my common tier cards, in which Allison, starting goalkeeper. Now, we do not have a defender that's playing in the midweek, but really only just these are my only options. All the other players, once we go to my training lineups, we will see they weren't really good options at all. So we're rolling with what we got here. With 4 players, we could do all right. Allison could do well against Inter. Obviously, it's more of the Champions League matchups right now, and we'll see how it goes. I think we'll do all right. I don't think we'll get any good rewards. I doubt we'll even get top 50%, but maybe. I think there's a chance. Next, we have our midweek competition. Once again, not really that many competitions. Earl Edwards Jr., who is in place of Matt Turner for the time being, but of course will be replaced by Matt Turner when he comes back healthy, which is the reason I bought a second goalie. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But he's the only goalie with the game, and my only forward with the game is Mason Toy, who hasn't been playing lately, or he's come back from an injury. So in my mind, not really doing anything for myself this week. And then if we go to our limited lineups, we can see that in my weekly lineup, I have James Pantamus. Once again, has a game, but has not been playing. He's behind Brazo. I forget who the goalie in front of him is. And then Cho Sang-jun, who plays a bit, honestly, but it really won't get it done for the weekly lineup. Tristan Blackman's been playing really, really well lately. One of my best pickups. We'll see. I have a full spreadsheet. I'll show you guys. And right here we can see the goalie I picked up. It is 19. This one he's like 21. But 21-year-old David Ochoa, who I bought him for about 400. We'll pull him up right here. He already dropped a bit. So I bought him for about 473, and he's already been sitting at about 430. But has purchases down at 416. So I likely made a bit of a mistake here buying it. Bought it a bit too high. But it's also kind of because I bought him for, can we see how much Ethereum I actually bought him for, though? It doesn't tell me the Ethereum. It's partially because Ethereum in general has dropped since I purchased it. So that's more so the issue. You can see it was 0.167. Actually, we'll see right now. We'll go to my club. We'll go to cards. We'll go, I bought him for 0.18, and he was $473. So if we go to 0.18 Ethereum, and it is worth, oh, that is not accurate, 0.18. Yeah, so it's worth 440. So honestly, didn't do as bad as it really looks, but still a bit over purchased because it has dropped within the past day quite a bit. About $200. That's actually crazy. But still, I think this is a good pickup because the reasoning behind it is Matt McMath is the guy in front of him who has been trending upwards, but based on the news that I've been looking up, I've been trying to read a bit about it. It's the only real place I can find some in-depth, or not even in-depth, just really just a timeline. But he's expected to return for next week's competition, and he's going to be the go-to goalkeeper at 21 years old. But the reason I went for it is obviously he's hyped up. Obviously he's very, very expensive. But Matt McMath, who is 30 years old, and maybe he's in better form than Ochoa right now. But in my mind, Ochoa is a beast. And I mean, I looked at enough of his info to be happy with my purchase. And in his last games, he has been averaging 63 in a tie and 74 in a 1-0 win. So with that being said, both those two scores are really, really promising. Plus, if we go to my data, if we go to Royale Salt Lake, we can see that in their last game's lineup, their defense is all playing decently well, all near or above 50, that I think they could hold it down, and it could be Ochoa is going to be their go-to in my mind. Maybe I made the wrong decision, but I truly, in Aaron Herrera, who is injured, I assume that's what it means. Either way, I think this could be a good pickup for me if he plays well, if he kind of gets the numbers that I expect him to get, that Zach McMath has been getting. Then his value could go up. But either way, we can also look at some of my successful purchases. So I bought Tristan Blackman at $9.66. $9.66. If we go to his cards, his lowest price right now is $39. So I made $30 on this pickup already. Let's see some of my ones from the other week. Let's see. I don't know if any of these guys down here have changed all too much. Maybe Grand Zusi has moved a little bit. I doubt it, though. Maybe, if anything, he's even dropped. I definitely am up a bit on Paxton Pomykal, who came off a pretty tough week, I will say. He got a yellow card and led in an own goal, so doubt he'll go up. Let's look at Dave Romney. Dave Romney, who played all right this recent week. Yeah, right around the same, right where I bought him. So, honestly, made $30 in some places, but in my mind, that's the week. And then, obviously, these are just my training lineups. Put in all the players I can. There's a couple that aren't in these lineups that maybe should be, but actually, edit my lineup. If I put up Naby Keita, do I have a replacement for... yeah, I kind of want to use Nicholas Seawald instead of Naby Keita. He's been playing really, really well lately. So I'm going to confirm that in. And then I'm going to go to my training lineup. Edit this, put in my extra, and there are actually no game. We can see that there are a couple people in here that I don't have in the lineups. Who should I put in here? I'll put in Dylan. Actually, no. I'll put in Keita in this one. Put the captain on someone. And then let's see. Is there a person I can put in Dylan for instead? Actually, Divock Origi. There's no reason I should have Divock Origi in here rather than Dylan Mbayo. So with that, we are now set. Those are my lineups. I still have a little bit, $43. Maybe I'll make some purchases. I've been doing a bunch of research throughout the weeks to try to figure out who's playing really, really well in the MLS. I could do research in different leagues. Unfortunately, there was a lot of tragedy in the Liga MX over the weekend, and it's a league I don't really have as much time and interest to focus on, but could be some good players. It's just a little up in the air right now as well. So I'm going to focus on the MLS, do what I can from here. With that being said, thank you all for joining and watching, and have an excellent evening. Peace.